Hello, welcome to the Gary Peer Report for Carnegie for September. My name is Leo Samuel, and today we have a special guest on the show in Gary Peer's absence. And I'd like to introduce you to the fellow staff from our Carnegie office, Daniel Rees. Welcome on board.
Thanks for having me today.
Well, Daniel Rees has been a member from our team at Gary Peer for 9 years now, Daniel? And you're definitely kicking goals in the Bayside region, and it's great to have you on as my co-anchor today in Gary's absence. And Daniel, how are you finding things in the market with spring finally here after a cold winter? Olympics is out the way, and how's it all going?
Yeah, fantastic. It's been a wonderful year and a very strong market, and really exciting heading into what looks to be a very strong spring market.
That's right, Daniel. And I can tell you what, us agents out there, we love a good spring market, but winter hasn't been bad at all in relation to offerings. Our clearance at Gary Peer and Associates out of the Carnegie office, we've literally closed 100%, Daniel. I don't know if you knew that. Bar one, we have sold not at auction, but running very strong. And on that note, maybe we should cover off on a few exciting sales results that we had for the last few weeks for the month of August. But we're looking forward to September. But let's cover off on the results that we had, because I can tell you what, Daniel, we had a mix of sales from the one bedrooms category to multi-million dollar homes, but it's just been a great vibe and feel out there from the buying public, and the need for homes and quality offerings is definitely out there. And we're loving the fact that we've been so busy in Carnegie, and hopefully to continue on for the offerings that are going to come up in the next few weeks. But let's start with a few offerings to cover off on now. And the first one I'd like to cover off on was the one at 21 Edgeworth Street in Carnegie, where Gary Peer and myself filmed last month's edition, and what a result that one was, Daniel. Aviv Samuel, my brother, alongside myself, had the pleasure to market this property, and what an outcome. You saw that. You were obviously working the buyers in the crowd, but we did the auction inside, Daniel. This offering here, unbelievable. Vendors were hoping for around that early 1.3 mark, and lo and behold, $1,490,000 we sold that one for, and an amazing offering for a 3-bedroom home on approximately 371 square meters. And we actually have some footage which we might cover off on now, so you can sort of see what happened there amongst the crowd and the ambience of that auction, how good it was. $490,000 going, sir. You sure? Thank you for your bidding. Looks like confirmed your bid, so at $1,490,000 going, sold. Congratulations. Sold for $1,490,000.
Interesting story there as well, I think, Leo, wasn't there? That it was previously put to the market and they didn't reach the result that the vendors were looking for.
Yeah, so because about a year ago we sold across the road, and this house at 21 Edgewood was put to market by another agent at a private sale with an asking price. They didn't have any bites. I later on was appointed to, obviously, I met the owners after our auction result, and a few changes, and focused a bit more on process, and like to think, our work, testament to that good work what we did to get the place ready for sale. And obviously the market's improved a bit, but not all that, I think. But what a result there, $1,490,000. Congratulations to both seller and buyer there. The other result, 27 Augusta Street in Glen Huntly. Local folk like myself living in Glen Huntly. A new record set by Gary Peer and Associates for this one, Daniel. Tell us a bit about that result and how good that was for our agency. And Philip Kingston, the auctioneer, on fire there, and well handled by Leon Gusenfitter and his team. So tell us a bit about that auction, Daniel.
So that was a beautiful, magnificent standout property, 5-bedroom period home. And the range was in the early 2s. And we knew that we had a number of interested parties, and we were going in for a strong auction. It really fired along, and there was some live footage at the time of the auction, so it was screened live.
And when you say live footage, it was actually Facebook live streaming. They, courtesy of Domain, they actually had filmed that on live, and I'm sure the other agents all in the area were wanting to know what was going on there. I'm sure they caught the grasp of what was happening there. But an amazing result. Philip did his thing as the auctioneer, and a new record. So the price, $2,575,000, a new price record for Glen Huntly, and even postcode 3163 for existing residential properties. So very proud of that achievement within our agency.
Very exciting.
And congratulations. And actually, with Philip, the day after was appeared in The Age in the real estate action in Domain as well, and there was a great article cut out there which we can cut to as well and have a look at that as well. So the other auction that I'd like to cover off on, and it was the one in Bentley East, at 11 Rochford Street, Bentley East. Now, I can tell you that we've had the most amazing success in the McKinnon zone of Bentley East the last few months, or over the last few years. But this one here, 11 Rochford Street, Bentley East, I'll talk about this one, Daniel, if you don't mind, because I was handling this sale alongside my brother. A nice block of land there, expecting interest into that sort of 1,450,000, which the reserve was 1,450,000. 3 buyers competed for this home, and $1,521,000 for another block of land in the McKinnon school zone. The demand for homes in that pocket there, for family home sites and side-by-side dual occupancies, is huge at the moment, and another feather in our cap from a fantastic sale there. On the issue of Bentley East, we continued on further. Just outside of the McKinnon zone, the other side of Centre Road, further south, was a dual occupancy, one of 2 on the block, one of the old battle axes you like to call it. So the 2 on the block, 1 at the front. We sold, which was 1 at 39 Neville Street in Bentley East. An amazing auction there, Daniel.
And that was also a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit or home.
Weatherboard home on 327 square metres, so the existing 1 of 2, they've been sort of tightly, been renovated and extended in time, but an amazing auction there,
and
5 bidders.
A huge crowd, and you were the auctioneer, Lior,
doing my thing.
Handing out chocolates and certainly entertaining the crowd, and that went really, really well and ended up selling for $870,000, which was a fantastic result for the property.
Yeah, and well covered off, Daniel. So also dual occupancy, the affordability point of view, and that sort of 700 to 800 mark is very strong at the moment. A lot of buyer demand. I can tell you what, that campaign, we had close to almost 200 people inspecting that property over the 4 weeks leading up to auction. And that's the alternative. You know, if people don't want to, or they can't afford that freestanding period homes on a standalone block type thing, or they want to upsize for an apartment or a villa unit. That's why I believe that one went really strong. But congratulations to both vendor and seller on that result there. The sale back to Carnegie at 1 at 70 Truganini Road in Carnegie. A great auction there, Daniel, which you might want to cover off on there because you're working the crowd nicely there. And yeah, one of your clients bid for that one and bought it nicely. So yeah,
absolutely. That was a fantastic 2-bedroom unit with a really nice courtyard, the front there on Truganini Road. And again, we had huge numbers come through the campaign there, and the opportunity for someone to make this property their home. Again, another one of your auctions that went really well. It was strong bidding and certainly a fantastic result. The vendors were very pleased at $795,000, which I would say is in the realm of a record for that type of property in the area.
Yeah, so 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms in a subdivision of 5 townhouses, built in 2009, this one. And once again, great crowd there. We've actually have some more footage of that one, so we might cover off on that end result there as well. The third and final call, all finished, all silent, all done. Ladies and gentlemen, get your hands ready in a moment to congratulate the new buyer at $795,000. The property's going, sold. Congratulations, sold for $795,000. So yeah, a great outcome in the end, Daniel. So yeah, back to other sales that we had. We might cover off a few ones that we actually had scheduled for auction, which sold before. And look, a lot of the times, I would say the statistic from us at Gary Peer & Associates is probably close to around 20% of auction listings that we have set for auction do actually sell before auction. So 1 in 5, not necessarily go all the way to auction. For many reasons, we do choose to sell before auction, whether we have a buyer that might be illegal here for everyone else, and some vendors are a bit nervous about the whole auction day, Daniel, and they might just want to go for a pre-auction offer before. And that happened to be the case for this 1-bedroom apartment at 9 at 62 Truganini Road, on the theme of Truganini. We'll lead into this one in Carnegie, and Graham Cullen did a great job there. 1-bedroom apartment for $381,000, and yeah, so a good outcome there as well. Another one that we'll cover off on this, that other 1-bedroom back to Glen Huntly at 205 at 117 Glen Huntly Road. Glen Huntly, Daniel, talk a bit more about that one.
So that was one of the properties that I was fortunate to represent and work on. And a fantastic vendor there, a wonderful building there that's a relatively new block. And again, we were pleased to be able to sell that pretty easily to a absolutely wonderful couple who are going to enjoy their time there. And that sold for $366,000.
So the themes there, you can sort of see some one bedrooms edging towards up to that $400,000 price point. But good real estate always sells well in top pockets in Glen Huntly. As I keep saying, I am a fan there. Different side of the spectrum. We're selling homes in excess of $2.5 million in Glen Huntly, but also in this or that lower end of that 3 mark, and even sometimes sub 300,000 for smaller one bedrooms. So Daniel, that will cover off on the sold properties that we've done for the month of August. Tell us a bit about yourself that the clients out there don't know about you, Daniel. So been in real estate, as I said, 9 years.
What's your background? 9 years. I was before that in the hospitality industry. I was in the hospitality industry for many years, running in the corporate industry of hospitality through Planet Hollywood and the Hyatt Hotel Group, and then moved on to actually run 2 restaurants of my own. And with my service background, I really felt that it was time to reach out and try something different. And it's been absolutely amazing being in the real estate game now, being an agent here at Gary Peer and Associates, and bringing my service skills and people skills to representing people.
Well, I can definitely vouch for that, Daniel. You are definitely a valued team member and a fellow Corfu grammarian like me. And customer service skills, you always better yourself. They talk about 100%, but I always believe you give that bit more. And sellers out there and clients that have supported you for many years, continue looking after you on the real estate front. I can definitely give you the thumbs up, and looking forward to your continued success. On another separate note, before we cover off on some of our new listings for the month of September, we've had some exciting news out of the Gary Peer Carnegie office. My brother, that tall chap, Viv Samuel, who's just got married to the beloved Dora, his partner. Congratulations to Aviv, who's currently honeymooning in Hawaii there, dodging those hurricanes there. But Aviv, congratulations on your milestone wedding. Very happy for you, my younger brother, and wishing you and Dora nothing but good times and good health in the future. And here's a nice footage of Viv, or a photo, I should say, of his special day. Another member that we've put on to our office at Gary Peer and Associates out of the Carnegie office is a new chap who, from a Malaysian background from KL, is the lovely David Gann. And David Gann, and here's a photo sort of rotating through with David now, who started with us a month ago. Now David's come on board, working alongside me as a sailing agent there. Comes from an IT background, very good on the numbers and the database. And I can tell you what, watch out for this guy here. He brings another edge to us at Gary Peer and Associates with his Malaysian background. And for all your real estate needs as well, and a point of difference, definitely give David a call.
He's doing really well. It's amazing to see a young gentleman come into the industry, and really with the utmost respect and enthusiasm and willingness to do whatever it's going to take for him to be successful. So I look forward to watching David grow within our organisation, and I'm really excited to be working side by side.
Because you say David's a young chap. You never know, but he's actually older than me. So, and I know I've been in real estate for close to 18 years, but David, I don't know what, there must be the product in his skin, non-alcoholic moisturiser or something, but yeah, David, he's going to be definitely kicking goals and definitely a valued team member for us at Gary Peer and Associates. So Daniel, that covers off on a bit of goss around the Carnegie area. In relation to the new listings, let's cover off on a few, because the first listing that I'd like to cover off on is your amazing listing in Glen Iris. And look, we don't just sell in Carnegie, in Glen Huntly, in Murrumbeena, or postcode 3163. We venture out all across town, and especially here in Glen Iris, where you're selling on behalf of a good client of yours. Tell us a bit about 2 Celia Street, Glen Iris, Daniel.
An absolutely amazing family home with 6 bedrooms on offer there on a block of 650 square metres. We auctioned that on Saturday morning at 10:30, and it's been an honour and a privilege to represent this home in the marketplace and to be out in Glen Iris. And just again a thank you to both the vendor there and also the people, Rodney, who referred us into that opportunity, and for his support and the vendors there. We sold for the sister a few weeks ago in Caulfield North. Yeah. Got an amazing result for her home, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be working with the family. And
well, Celia Street, Glen Iris, Ashland in Ashburn's hot, and thank you very much to our advocates referring us business. But Daniel, that's a great listing to have, and we're very proud of that. And look, house and land, Glen Iris, opportunity there for a lucky buyer. those blocks in Glen Iris there, and it's such a great area, close to pockets of Malvern and Ashburton there,
Absolutely.
and Glen Iris there has been going crazy in relation to price appreciation in the last few years. The next offering we'd like to cover off on is Jeremy Rosen's listing at 20 Rigby Avenue, Carnegie, the old Eleanor Rigby, the Beatles fans out there. Nice block of land there, should go well as well in relation to how land offerings are going out at the moment. Unbelievable, just the demand for land. 920 square metres of prime Carnegie land with a beautiful frontage of over 18 metres. I think this one should go well, and I believe he's got interest sort of hovering into that sort of 1, 2, maybe up towards that 1.3 level, Daniel. Now, the feature property where we're covered today. Here we are in the heart of Carnegie, back in Carnegie at 4 Vinegrove, Carnegie. What an offering here, built in the 1980s. Daniel, why don't you cover off on this one?
An absolutely stunning home with 4 bedrooms, multiple bathrooms, at least 2 car spots available here. And Glenn and Graham have been meeting and representing the home here. And again, expecting interest around that sort of 1, 2.5 up to sort of around the 1, 4 mark here.
Yeah, should go well. And the home built in the 1980s, nice solid construction here. But people don't know as well that this home has actually had a bit of a first floor extension that was put on at a later date. And it's definitely got some fantastic family accommodation here, close to the old Carnegie pools where I used to spend a bit of my time on the diving boards and the water slides, which unfortunately they pulled down. I know I spent a lot of my summer holidays out there, and right next to the Caulfield Bears, Go the Bears Football Club around the corner, which we love being part of as well. Get down to that auction, and coffee van will be out in force for this one and should go really well. Then back to Rigby Avenue, 186 Rigby Avenue, Carnegie is another offering we've got. Daniel, the 2-bedroom apartment with a courtyard. Tell us a bit about that one.
So that's an unusual offering because of the size of the courtyard. It's got a huge courtyard with a 99-year leaseback agreement there, so exclusive use of the courtyard. It's got its own private entrance, so you don't have to go through the general entrance to get into the apartment, and it's in a boutique block of only 8 apartments, so it's a very good offering.
Sure. And for investment as well, with interest rates being sort of near record lows, we had our one of our finance partners talk about, and that's Aqua Finance that was, talking about deals they're giving in relation to fixed term loans as well, 5%, 5-year loans at under 4%, like 3.99%, literally money for jam. But look, great opportunity to park some money from an investment purposes or first home buyers, anything with outdoor areas, I'm always a big fan of.
So we're expecting interest there around the 410 to 450 mark there, Leo.
Sure, I'm sure that one will go really well. Also, spreading our wings amongst all suburbs, and that other one we'll cover off for now is 30 Prince Edward Avenue, McKinnon, off McKinnon Road there. In that sort of development pocket there near the newly revamped McKinnon train station, a fantastic offering there, a land opportunity for, I'm sure some developers will look at that and snap that one up there. Price, I believe they're expecting interest in that sort of mid to high 1 million range. Daniel, should go well on the 17th of September at 11:30 with Gary Pier 2 auction. The last sale that we'll cover off on the forthcoming listings is another one back in East Bentley in the McKinnon zone, and that's 11 Moylan Street in Bentley East. A fantastic offering there in relation to land. I believe this one here is a good one for a buyer that wants to get into the building straight away, because there's a current existing town planning permit for 2 side-by-side townhouses as well. So check that one out. We're expecting interest into that sort of 1.4 to 1.55 level. Should go really well based on other sales in the area, and a good opportunity to park some money in some quality land in the McKinnon zone area. Actually, we should cover off on that one apartment, because we've covered off a lot of houses outside of the one in Rigby Avenue, but the one in that BPM block, it's a real standout in the Winnie Maruna Road, is a great offering which we should talk about now, Daniel. And that's apartment 4 at 14 to 16 Maruna Road in Carnegie. Why don't you tell us a bit about that one, Daniel?
And that's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and it's got its own car space there. And again, in terms of the interest that we're expecting around the 5 to 550 mark, which is a fantastic opportunity to get into the market in that new development.
So it's not brand new, but it's near new, and definitely anything in that sort of price point into that mid-fives with that outdoor area as well. Investors out there with the depreciation benefits and first-home buyers with those stamp duty concessions. If it's applicable to you, why not look no further than this fabulous offering in Maroona Road in Carnegie. Now let's cover off, Daniel, on a few private sales, because we're not always auction orientated at Gary Peer and Associates, and we do have now and then a few private sale listings, and one of those is that one in Neerim Road, Daniel. So why don't we talk about Unit 2 at 250 Neerim Road in Carnegie.
Which is a really standout block again. Yes, it's on Neerim Road, right near the hub of everything in Carnegie in Cornang Road there. We've got that for private sale at $898,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom and double lock-up garage, and it's a very impressive. It's again only a few years old, but it's been kept impeccably well, and I'm sure that that's going to make someone very happy as a new purchaser in the short time.
So there you go there in relation to buyers out there looking for something that's hush-hush without the whole bells and whistles of an auction campaign. There's your opportunity. Private sale, Daniel, you said for $898,000. So that's the asking price. Definitely check that one or give Daniel a call for a private appointment with that one. The other offering as well, the other private sale that you've got in Truganini Road, Daniel?
So that's also the front unit, one of two at 108 Truganini Road. And that's a 3-bedroom, extra large, over 30 square townhouse at $1,325,000 is what we're looking for there. And that's only just coming into the market. We'll be opening that for the first time this weekend.
Sure. So I'm just looking at, we've had a bit of a great run in Truganini Road in Carnegie the last few weeks. But yeah, definitely check that one out there in relation to the accommodation. Sounds like a great one. I haven't seen it yet, but looking forward to seeing that in due course. So that covers off in relation to the new listings. Daniel, the feel out there with the market, how's it all going in Carnegie? We as we drove to the property here in Vine Grove, we saw what was going on in the Carnegie train station, and it's literally bare naked, back to the bare bones. They've actually shut down Carnegie train station. Well, the trains are passing through, but they're not taking any passengers, and it's a bit sad to see the old station that's gone from there. But yeah, I'm sure in due course something will be built out there, and we'll definitely hear it, being our office next to the other corner, only about 10 metres away, or 20 metres away if you want to be exact, from the Carnegie train station. But buyers out there and sellers and good clients, the market is hot. I believe stock levels are pretty much from our agency down probably about 15 to 20% from last year. So, for us, obviously we like listing constantly, bringing new offerings to the market, but, the demand for property, especially in the Carnegie region, is very hot at the moment. But Daniel, before we close out this month's edition, any sort of last thought for buyers or sellers out there?
I think you mentioned the interest rates, and I think they've been put on hold again for another cycle, and certainly interest rates being as low as they are and have been for some time. There are certainly a lot of buyers out there, and with the stock levels that you've mentioned, look, it is competitive, but if you see the right property and there is interest, I think you've got to push that little bit harder at the moment coming into spring before everything finishes for 2016, because there is always a bit of a gap between the end of the market and the new year in 2017. Sure.
Well, we've just come out of winter and we're now loving spring, and new precedents definitely were set over the winter market. But all your valued clients out there, buyers and sellers alike, thank you for watching this month's edition of Gary Peer TV Carnegie Report. My name's Leo Samuel signing off. And Daniel, thanks for being my co-anchor in Gary Peer's absence. It's been a pleasure to have you. Wishing you nothing but continued success in the months and the years ahead. Thank you for watching today. Have a great day.
Bye for now.